Hello there. Welcome to Quick Yoga. My name is Marella. I invite you to take a tall sitting position. Press your sit bones into the floor. Stretch the sides of your body long. Invite your shoulder blades onto your back. Move your ears back. If you wish, you can bring your hands to your heart. Turn in. Either close your eyes or softly gaze ahead without focusing. Observe your breath. And as usual, we'll open with 3 ohms to ground ourselves and center ourselves in our practice today. Exhale. Inhale. 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 Open your eyes, raise your hands. Word of the day is my way. Earlier this week I had some negotiation with some friends of ours to go away on a trip together, and some of the party wanted to go later in the week and some of us wanted to go, and those that wanted to go earlier were disappointed that they couldn't get away until later in the week. And so it's, when you look at that whole conversation forward and back, it's about whose way do we end up with, or what sort of negotiated compromise do we arrive at. And it got me to thinking, well, what's important about having my way, and why does my way matter anyways? So in the greater scheme of things, and in reference to our yoga, come to my mat this evening, I was thinking of different reasons why I shouldn't come to yoga and to get onto my mat and to do my asana. And at the end of the day, all there is, there's no negotiation about it, all there is to come to the mat. And I wasn't getting the my way of my thoughts or my ego. All I had to do was get on the mat. So during your practice this evening, notice when you're doing your practice, you're doing the different asanas, and you go so far, and if you're present and focused, you actually come into the pose a little deeper, you expand your possibilities even bigger than what you would normally do, so you're moving out of your default way of acting. So I guess that's what my way is about in word of the day today, and you can use it and look at it in many different situations in our lives. Okay, let's get into down dog. Hands wider than shoulders, knees hip width apart, turn the toes under and lift the hips up, float the hips up. Externally rotate your upper arms, engage your core, lift your hips even higher, and invite your heels to come to the floor, engage your quads, melt your heart, soften between your shoulder blades. Grip the floor with your fingertips. And then float your shoulders over your wrists, lift your head, look up, engage your core. Lower gently to the floor and coming into Locust 2. Arms by your sides, turn your palms up, press the tops of your feet into the floor, flare your toes. Inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor, lift your arms up as high as you can, lift your legs up, squeeze your heels together. Release your arms, hands to the floor, moving into down dog, and this time I invite you to try bring your ankles together. If that's not available to you, keep your heels inner hip width apart, grip the floor at your fingertips, melt your chest towards the floor, look at a point between your thumbs, engage your quads, turn your sit bones up. Walk your hands to your feet and make your way to standing. Place your hands on your hips, step to the back of your mat. Moving into high lunge. Inhale, step your right foot forward with attitude and intention. Lift your back heel off the floor, squeeze your elbows back behind you, lift your chest, stretch your spine. Back heel up to vertical, front knee over ankle. Pivot to the back of the mat. Step your feet together, come into mountain at the back of your mat, hands by your sides. Root down equally with all four corners of your feet into the floor, squeeze your shins in. Squeeze your inner thighs, engage your core. Stretch the sides of your body long, broaden across your collarbones. Stretch arms down, stretch fingers down, move your ears back. Moving into high lunge, lift your arms up, step forward again, big strong step forward. Front ankle, under knee, lift your back heel to vertical, look up. Pivot to the back of the mat. Bend your front knee, sink down, front knee over ankle again, lift back heel up to vertical, look up. Lower to the floor, step back into down dog. Come all the way down into topsy-turvy superhero, arms out in front. Lift your right arm and opposite leg off the floor. Stretch your fingertips away from your toe tips. Press the edge of the left hand into the floor. Lift your elbow off the floor. Switch to the other side. Down dog. No hand lunge, step your right foot forward. Pivot your back heel so the outside edge of your back heel is parallel with the short end of your mat.
Line up your front heel so it bisects the arch of your back foot. Clasp your hands together behind your back, bend your elbows, place your thumbs on the sacrum, and then inhale, lift your arms up to vertical. Allow your head to drop, look back between your legs. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, engage your quad. Stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling. Bring your arms to vertical or beyond. Lower your elbows, straighten your front knee, stand up. Turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, bend your front knee, sink down. Thumbs on your sacrum, allow your head to come towards the floor, lift your arms off your back, stretch your knuckles up towards the ceiling, press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, look back between your legs. Press down, stand up, straighten your front leg. Moving into warrior two, turn your left foot in, turn your right foot out. Set up your foundation by lining up the front heel with the middle of your back arch. Inhale your arms up, hands in line with shoulders, bend your right knee, sink down. Move your front knee out in line with your second toe, lift your gaze. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor, sink down even more. Press down, stand up and pivot to the back of the mat. Right foot in, left foot out. Bend your front knee, sink down. Line up your hands with your shoulders. Look out over your left hand arm. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Engage your quad. Roll your left hip underneath. Press down, stand up, lower your arms, moving into half moon. You might like to use a block here, so take a block and place it towards the front corner, right hand corner of your mat. Standing towards the back of your mat, lift your right arm up by your ear. Step forward with your right foot, bend your right knee. Take your weight onto your right foot, lean forward, place your hand on the block. Lift your back leg up behind you. Roll the outside edge of your back foot into the floor up towards the ceiling. Either keep your hand on your hip or very gently begin to stretch your arm up. Then walk your eyes along the ground and look out in front of you. Inhale, exhale and release to the floor and switch your block to the other side. You can also do this without using a block, of course. Lift your left arm up by your ear. Step forward with your left foot. Bend your left knee. Lean forward. Place your hand on the block. Lift your back leg up behind you. Roll the outside edge of your back leg up towards the ceiling. Lift your top arm up to vertical. And very gently walk your eyes along the floor until you can look out in front of you. Inhale, exhale and release. And moving into reverse warrior. Step your feet wide apart. Turn your right foot out. Slide your back hand down your back leg, bend your right knee. Move your front knee out in line with your second toe, the root of your second toe. Lift your right arm up, look up at your palm. Slide your back hand down your back leg, sink down even more. Press the outside edge of your back foot into the floor. Inhale, press down, stand up, switch to the other end of the mat, turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out, slide the back hand down the back leg, lift your left arm up, look up. Inhale back up to centre, turn your feet in, hand lining up the outside edges of your feet with the short ends of your mat. Inhale your arms up and coming into wide leg forward fold. Place your hands on the floor under your shoulders, more doable. Lift your head, look up. More difficult, walk your hands back, line up your fingernails with your toenails, float your hips forward and invite your head to come towards the floor. Bend your elbows, hands sort of wider than shoulder width apart. Inhale, press down, stand up, and Charlie Chaplin your feet together. For some reason my mat seems very slippy this evening. Anyways, we'll keep going. Moving into standing sage. Look to the side. So shift your weight onto your left foot, bend your right knee and clasp the right toe with the first two fingers of the right hand. This may be as far as you go, or stretch your leg out in front of you. And then very gently move it out to the side. Press the back of the thigh away from you. And when you've found your place of balance, see if you can look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to centre, bend your knee and release your foot. Switch to the other side, shift your weight to your right foot, bend your left knee and clasp your left toe with the first two fingers of your left hand and pause a moment here, place your hand on your hip and gently lift your shin parallel to the ceiling. This may be where you stop. Or extend your leg and move it out to the side. And then look over your right shoulder. Swing your leg into centre, bend your knee, release your foot to the floor. Coming into mountain, hands by your sides, close your eyes, turn in, observe your breath. Moving into levitating sage, shift your weight onto your left foot, place your hands on your hips, lift your right knee up as high as you can and stretch it out and flex and point your right leg. Endeavouring not to lean back. Release and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your right foot, lift your left knee high, stay here or stretch it out. Feel the burn in your thighs. Okay, so moving into power pose. Feet either together or inner hip width apart. Inhale, lift your arms up, brush your arms off your ears, stretch them up, bend your knees, sink down, back straight, gaze straight ahead, push into your ankles. Press down, stand up, and moving into eagle. Shift your weight onto your left foot, lift your right leg and wrap it around the front of the left. See if you can take the double wrap. Lift the left arm and wrap the right underneath. Hug the midline. Squeeze your elbows into your chest into your spine. Back straight, bend your knee, sink down, hug your legs together. Inhale, stand up and switch to the other side. Shift your weight onto your right foot, lift your left leg, wrap it around the front of the right. Lift your right arm, wrap the left underneath. If you can't take the double wrap, that's alright. Outside chin to outside chin, back straight, bend the standing legs, sink down, hug the midline. Press down, stand. Moving into cosmic abs. Sit with your feet in front of you on the floor, feet hip width apart. Shift your weight onto your right hip, bring your knees together, your ankles together. Start to bicycle your knees and feet up and down and your arms up and down. So lots of movement in your upper shoulder and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch to your other hip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch again. Keep moving those shoulders. 3, 4, 5. Switch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And release. Make your way back up to standing, coming into crescent triceps. Lift your right arm up by your ear, clasp your right triceps with your left hand. Move your hips to the right, your torso to the left, be as sideways as possible. Inhale back up to centre and switch arms, be as sideways as possible in the other direction. Inhale back up to centre, bend your knees, come into squat pose. Place your hands behind your feet and to the side of them and bend your elbows and then work your feet in towards each other so you can cross one ankle over the other, it doesn't matter whichever feels good for you, and then press your elbows away from you and see if you can lift your feet off the floor. And that's how I escape out of it. Do the same again and have the ankles in. If your right ankle is on top, try it with your left ankle on top. So make your way back into standing, bend the knees, sink down, place your hands behind your shins and out to the side. Line up your, bring your index finger to the outside of your foot and your thumb around the back of your ankle. And then walking your ankles in towards each other, and remember to cross them in the other direction this time. Then press your elbows away from each other and see if you can lift off.
There, I just got a little bit of clearance.
Making our way into upward bow. Come and lie on your back. Place your hands under your shoulders. Point your elbows at the ceiling. Walk your feet in towards each other a little bit. And turn your toes in slightly. And then press down with your feet into the floor. Press down with your hands into the floor. And either come up onto the top of your head or lift the arm up. And release down. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Release your legs to the floor, your arms by your side, and make your way into relaxation for the last 5 minutes.
begin to deepen your breathing. Bring your attention back to your body and onto the mat. Gently start to awaken your body by moving your hands, your feet. Perhaps give yourself a stretch. And then make your way to sitting up by rolling over onto one side. Place your hands on the floor, press down and lift your torso upright. Take a good sitting position. Hands to your heart. Turn in one last time to honour ourselves, each other and the practice. We close with one Om. Exhale. Inhale. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for coming to practice. See you on the mat.